Hello, Mr. Price, and this is your homework on the Year 7 on angles, and this will be a consolidation of all the angles you've done so far, along with some depth questions. Okay, so the first question is asking us for the value of A. Now you know these are going to add up to 180 degrees, so just to help us out here, I am going to do the sum of 180, take away 42. You don't have to use this method, but I'm just reinforcing some of the things that we've looked at previously in the year. So I want to do 0 take away 2, which I don't really like to do, so I'm going to share one of my tens column and make that into a 10, and I can do 10 take away 2 is 8, 7 take away 4 is 3, and then 1 take away nothing is 1. So we're going to get 138 for question A. Okay, similar idea for question 2. I'm going to do 180, take away 73, as angle B and 73 sum to 180, and do a similar thing. So I'm going to share one of my 8s to make it a 7, 10 take away 3, which gives me 7, 7 take away 7 is 0, and 1 take away nothing is 1. So B is 107 degrees. Okay. Question 3, I'm going to first add up all of my values and then subtract that from 180, because all of these are going to add to 180. So 27, add 12, add 35. Okay, 7 and 2 is 9, 9 plus 5, I can use my number bonds, well 10 plus 5 is 15, so 9 plus 5 will give me 14. And then 2 plus 1 is 3, and then doubling, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. So those add up to 74. So now I need to subtract 180 from this. Sorry, beg your pardon, I want to subtract 74 from 180. Okay, so share my 7 again, carry the 10. 10 take away 4 is 6, 7 take away 7 is nothing, and 1 take away nothing is 1. So C is 106 degrees. Okay, question 4. Now here I need to be careful, because each pair that I'm now circling are going to add up to their own sets of 180. Okay, because these are all sum of angles at a point on a straight line. Okay, so I'm going to work out D first. These two are going to add to 180. So you should find that 180 take away 43 gives you 137 using subtraction, and then E, I want to do 180 take away 19, that gives you 161 after you've done some calculations. Okay, question 5. I'm now dealing with angles at points, so all of these angles are going to add to 180. So I'm going to add up all these numbers, which I'll do here. So so I've got 45 plus 120. I'm going to do this again because this is very messy. 45, 120. Notice how I'm keeping all my numbers in columns. 79, and that's it. Okay. Using number bonds, 10 plus 5 is 15, so 9 plus 5 is 14. 7 plus 2 is 9, plus this one is 10, plus the 4 is 14. And then 1 plus 1 is 2, so that's 244. And I want to do 360, subtract 244. Carry one of my 6's. 10 take away 4 is 6, 5 take away 4 is 1, 3 take away 2 is 1. So 116 for angle F, because these all up to 360. Okay, question 6. So using the rule that opposite angles are equal, because I've got two straight lines that meet at a point, so angle H is going to be 19 degrees. Now if I cover up this bit here, you can see I've got two angles on a straight line. So angle G and 19 will sum to 180 degrees, or angle H and G, or 19 and G, will also add to 180 degrees. It doesn't matter where you cover up. Okay, so once you've done your sum, you should find that that is 161. And use opposite angles, I will also be the same, 161 degrees. Okay, final question. So angle K lies completely on a straight line, so this will automatically be 180 degrees. And then angle J will sum with 13 to make 180. So 180 take away 13 is 167 degrees. And those are the first 7 questions done. We're now going to look at our depth questions. So I'm going to model this using bar modeling. There are alternative methods, but for now we'll deal with how to use bar modeling. So the sum of 2 angles is a full turn. So if I do a quick sketch of what this might look like, it's possibly something like this. Here's angle 1 and here's angle 2, but this is not to scale, it just helps me visualize what's going on here. Okay, the larger of the angles is 7 times the size of the other angle. Okay, so if I let angle 1 be worth 1 box, angle 2 will be 7 times this, so that'll be worth 7 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now all of these boxes are worth these 2 angles here, and you know these both add up to 360. Okay, so all I now need to do is divide my 360 by these many boxes. I want to split the 360 into 8 boxes. So I'm going to do 360 divided by 8. 8s into 3 do not go. 8s into 36 is 4 times, sorry. And then you are 4 away. And then 8s into 40 is 5. So each box is worth 45. Okay, and earlier we said the first angle is worth 1 box, so angle 1 is 45. And then the other one, well, we can just do 360 take away 45, and that gives us 315. Okay, so there's my first answer, 45 degrees and 315 degrees. Now for question 2, we have a slightly more advanced bar model. Okay, now you may find this quite challenging potentially, and there are some alternative ways to do this later on in the year, but for now let's have a look at how we can visualize this problem. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a box for my first angle. Okay, and then a box for my second angle that's bigger. Okay, now I know the gap between these is going to be 90 degrees. Okay, the difference between these two is 90, so that gap here is worth 90 degrees. Okay, and if I draw a box with my 2 underneath and my box of 1, we know these both add up to 180 degrees. Now we can see that then this gap here is also worth box 1, so then this gap here is also be worth box 1. So I've got a gap of 90 plus 2 boxes of 1 will equal 180 degrees. Okay, so then I know that 2 boxes of 1 like so is going to be worth 180 take away 90, so worth 90 degrees. Split that in half, so box 1 is going to be worth 45 degrees. Therefore box 2 will be 180 take away 45, so that will give me 135 degrees. As you can see, the gap between them is 90. Now for this final question, I'm going to break this down a little bit more. So, let's start off with a clock with the minute hand. Now, after 1 hour, it will have travelled all the way round. So 1 hour, it will travel 360 degrees. Now we also know that 30 minutes, or half an hour, it will travel half that time. So half that time, divide that by 2, it will travel 180 degrees. I can do this another time if I halve that time again. So 30 minutes to 50 minutes is half the time. So we halve the angle, and as we'd expect, 15 minutes is 90 degrees. We can take this all the way now and say, well, 1 minute, to go from 15 minutes to 1 minute, I need to divide by 15. So I'll divide my 90 by 15. Okay, and you should get that to be 6 degrees. So every minute, the clock will, the minute hand will travel 6 degrees. Now let's extend this to the seconds. So 1 minute is also 60 seconds. But I'd like 1 second. So to go from 60 seconds to 1 second, I want to divide by 60. So I'm going to also divide the 6 by 60. Okay. So I'm going to do a quick bus stop sum here. 60 divided by 6. Now, this isn't an easy division sum, so well done if you tried this. So I'm going to start off by devising the 60 times table. It might help me. So 60, 180. 60s into 6 is nothing. Put in my decimal point. Carry the 0. Carry the 6. 60s into 60 goes once. So 1 second is 0.1 degrees. That is the answer to 3 part 1. Now finally part 4. I'd like to see how far the minute hand will travel in 2 hours, 2 minutes and 57 seconds. Now there's lots of ways you can do this. As I know the time for 1 second, in fact no, I'm going to split it up into its bits. So I know 1 hour, the minute hand travels 360 degrees. So in 2 hours, it will do 2 lots of that, 120. Okay, so that's the 2 hours. Now the 2 minutes, so I know that 1 minute is 6 degrees from earlier on in the question. So 2 minutes is going to be 12 degrees. And finally the 57 seconds, well I know 1 second is 0.1 degrees. So 57 seconds will be 57 times that. And I know to do that sum, I want to do 57 times 1 is 57. But I made that 10 times smaller, so I need to make my answer 10 times smaller. So that will be 5.7. So now I add these all together, so 720 degrees plus 12 degrees plus 5.7 degrees. Add all these up, and I get 0.7 here, 7 here, 3 here, and 7 here. So my clock will have travelled 737.7 degrees. Well done if you followed that well. If you are finding that more difficult and require a little bit more help, then don't hesitate to come see me in class. Otherwise, well done.